Alright, in this video I'm going to show you how I did $38,382 drop servicing in just 12 days. There's going to be a lot of things that I'm going to be talking in this video, unpacking, breaking everything down, so sit back, relax, have a cup of joe, and let's get right into it. So this video is going to be broken down into 4 parts. The first part is I'm going to show you the actual numbers. The second part is I'm going to give you a short little sweet summary of exactly how I did this. Third part is I'm going to go into detail and break down every step along the way. So, we're going to get into the offer, into the timing, into the target audience. And then the fourth part, is I'm going to show you the profit breakdown, and I'm going to show you day by day, or kind of like a week by week, how much profit I actually generated from this $38,000, because remember, these are just the sales, but I will show you the profit at the end of the video. So with that being said, sit back, relax, and let me show you and explain to you exactly how I did this. So first things first, as I said, let me show you the actual numbers. So as you can see right here on the right hand side, from the 1st till the 12th of February, right here, you can see that I did $38,382. And if you go day by day, you can see that the highest day was 4.2, and then it averaged at about $2,500. So those are the numbers. You can see that I did about 1,200 orders, which is quite a lot in 12 days. That's about 100 orders a day on average. So now the second part is, let me actually give you a short little summary of how I actually did this, like what's the offer, how I was doing the advertising, and so forth. So just in short, brief, I'm selling custom digital illustrations. So what this means is that a person submits his photo, and then I turn that illustration, well, not I, but my artists who work for me, they turn that photo into an illustration, right? So that's kind of the offer, right? The timing was very important because I didn't know this at the time, but I started advertising right before Valentine's Day, and this offer, right, these custom illustrations, it's a gift, right? And the question is, when do people buy gifts? Well, there are only 4 events in a year when people buy gifts. It's before Valentine's, before Mother's Day, before Father's Day, and before Christmas, right? So the timing, I was super lucky to start then, because if I started a couple of weeks later, I would have not seen this result, and I would not have this breakthrough that I did here, and I wouldn't see these numbers, these CTRs, these ROASs, right? So the way I was doing this is I was advertising with Facebook. I was just doing cold traffic to a product page on Shopify. I did put some time into the product page. I designed it. It looked nice. It wasn't the best, by the way. You can do like a similar page in a couple of hours, but the timing was very lucky. And so I was advertising to women ages 18 to 34 worldwide, and my primary targeting was in a relationship, right? So that's a relationship status, right? And you can think of it, people who are celebrating Valentine's Day, they're most likely in a relationship and they're getting gifts, right? And so, showing ads to those people was very, very profitable. My link CTR was 2%. That means that, from every 100 people who saw my ad, they actually went to the website. And the overall ROAS, return on ad spend, was around 2.5, which means that for every dollar that I put in, well, in this case, euros, that I put into Facebook ads, I was getting 2.5 back, right? And so from that, and that means about a 15 to 20% profit margin. Well, that's kind of roughly, but that means that for every euro or dollar that I put in, I was getting 15 cents profit back, right? So if you're walking down the street and you see a little machine that says put $1 in and you take 2.5 back, the question is, how much would you put in, right? Obviously, everyone wants to be at that point where they find that machine, and it's like you need to build that. You won't be able to find it, but you need to build this machine. And so this was what I was able to do, right, with this offer, with this website, with this everything. So now I want to go to the third part of this video, which is I'm going to go into detail about 3 different things which I think are critical when it came to me generating these $38,000 in 12 days, right? Because there are a lot of things that go into this, building the website, doing this, and there's like a huge accumulation of knowledge, but it comes down to 3 very, very important things that I think if you get them right, even if you do a lot of other mistakes, you should still be good, okay? So those three things are offer that is proven to sell, timing, right, seasonal offer, and then third, target audience. So let me go into detail into all three of these. So the first things is a proven offer to sell. So, you might have heard about this, but in this whole dropshipping space, people talk about winning products and winning offers. Well, that's true. You need to have a product or an offer that the market wants to buy. If it's if you're trying to sell something that the market doesn't want to buy, well, you won't be able to be profitable. You won't be able to make sales. And often the mistake that beginners make is that they try to sell something which they want, right, as a person, but it doesn't necessarily work like that. Often it's that whatever you want is not necessarily what the market wants, and what the market wants is not necessarily what you would buy, right? So you need to really kind of accept that fact and work with it. Don't work against it. Don't try to sell whatever you would buy. Sell whatever the market wants, right? And you do that by either testing or by seeing what has already been working. And I recommend you look at what is already working. And the easiest way to do this, if you want to do these custom illustration niche, is you go onto Etsy.com and you search for custom illustration. And on the first 3 to 5 pages, whatever you're going to see, the styles, because you'll see them different ones, that is proven to work. Because otherwise, for such a big keyword, Etsy wouldn't be showing these things. And if you go to each individual listing, you will see the number of orders that shop has. So that just shows that this is proven to work and that the market wants it, even though you might not like it. But I still recommend that you choose something that you like and that the market is proven to want as well. That's kind of going to be the best synergy, because you want to also sell something that you enjoy, right? Especially these custom illustrations, you're creating art, you're selling art. So you're an art dealer, but not really. But so you still want to enjoy it, right? You still want to enjoy the art. For example, what I'm selling, the style, I love it, man. Like it's beautiful, right? So that's the first thing. Proven offer, right? With this custom illustration, easiest thing to do is Etsy, custom illustration, look for this, right? If it's on the first 3 to 5 pages, it's gonna probably most likely work, okay? Super important. The second thing is timing, right? So as I said, these custom illustrations is a very seasonal product. Why? Because people buy these illustrations as a gift to their, loved ones, family, or friends, or whatever. And because it's a seasonal thing, there are only a couple of months in a year when that season is spiking high, right? It has a pronounced seasonal sales period in a year. So I figured out, I haven't figured out, yes, I haven't tested this, but my hypothesis is that there are only going to be 4 months in a year when this is going to sell. Before Valentine's Day, before Mother's Day, before Father's Day, and before Christmas, right? Q4. This is my hypothesis when these custom illustrations are going to sell. And so, I was very lucky because I started advertising right before Valentine's Day. And I didn't notice at the time that this was a gift, that it's seasonal, right? That people buy this, but I was lucky, right? You can call it luck. I consider it to be luck, but you can also say that it was kind of a preparedness because I was doing this before, I was putting in the work as well. But more on that later. And so I consider this to be lucky, but now once I have figured out, now I can take advantage of this, and before the next event, I can start advertising knowing that this is going to work now, right? And because I know, and because it will work, well, hopefully, right? Then I can start putting a lot more money into it, right? Because I know that I have only a certain limited time frame when I can make money, right? And so, if I'd come to you and I'd say, listen, you have only, 90 days, right, when you can make money in a year, right? But in those 90 days, you can make a lot of money, right? Like the more you put, the more you make back, right? So the question is, how much would you put in? Well, I'm going to put a lot, and I bet you too. So that's the same thing here. There's only a short time period, but when it is, the demand is spiking high, and that's when you want to advertise, and that's when you want to scale super hard. And you want to have seasonal workers, you want to have seasonal freelancers who create these illustrations, who, the assistant team who make sure that this, the whole thing is functioning. And you want to have the system set up in advance. I have a couple of videos on my channel talking about how to set up the operations. So you want to make sure that they flow smoothly as well. So that's the second thing, right? The timing. Remember, it's a seasonal offer, these custom illustrations. So if you're going to start, you want to start now, and you want to build up and start advertising 3-4 weeks before an event, which I mentioned earlier. And now the third thing, which is target audience, okay? And as I mentioned earlier, each one of these events has a specific theme, right? The broadest theme is Christmas, of course, because people are getting gifts for family, friends, for everyone, right? But those other three have a very specific target audience to them. So, before Valentine's are most likely couples. Before Mother's Day, well, it's going to be, there are different targetings, right? You can do like gifts for mothers, gifts for daughters, gifts for girlfriends, but still, like, it's Mother's Day, right? So people are getting gifts for their mothers. And then before Father's Day, you guessed it right, and then Christmas is like that. So why I'm saying this is super important as well is because you want to make sure that you're creative, right? And by creative, I mean your advertising. And that consists of a couple of different things, but the most important ones are the text and the actual image, right? And so you want to make sure that your image and your text speaks directly to your target audience, right? So if you're advertising for Valentine's Day couples, well, you want to show a couple being turned into whatever style illustration you're doing. And you want to have the text be like, surprise your loved one, or make the most unforgettable gift for your loved one. And by the way, I want to show you something. TheNightSky.com have a very good example right here, which I love, about how to make emotional copy. Check this out. Was it your first kiss, the birth of a child, or that moment you realize your world has changed? Give a gift of the stars to always remember that special night. Create a custom map of the night your heart skipped a beat. Print it on museum-grade art, matte paper, and print it using archival links. This is designed to last generations. Like, think about that. That sparks emotion, and that's what you want to do in your copy, in your creative as well, right? You want to speak to emotion because that's what gets people to move. Emotion, right? Action set in motion. No, I can't remember what it is, but basically emotion has the word motion, right? Emotions sets the people into motion. So remember that when you're going to be making your creatives, and remember to tailor your creatives to that audience, right? If you're doing before Mother's Day, well, you want to speak to people. First off, you want to segment different people, right? So you want to see, okay, someone is getting a gift from mother. Who would that be? Well, that be kids, right? Her children. Okay, then someone might be getting, and not all segments are going to be profitable. For example, someone getting a gift for their daughter is not going to be as profitable maybe as someone getting a gift from mother. So you want to test those different segments, and then you want to see, okay, people getting a gift for their mother, that's the most profitable segment. So you want to focus on that. You want to put all your money on that, and you want then you want to see. Then you want to show that person, right, who you're targeting, and you want to understand who you're targeting, right? For example, if you're showing to women ages 18 to 34, who have a mother, you want to speak to them, right? Make the most unforgettable gift for your mother. And then you want to show a picture of, a mother and a daughter, arrow, being turned into your style illustration. That's what you want to do. And once you have that creative, once you have the timing, 3 weeks, 2 weeks, the closer it is to the event, the better, before that event, and you have an offer that is proven to work, once you have those three components, man, you are going to see great CPMs, great CTRs. You're going to see great conversion and great engagement rate, right? You want to get those things right. And then once you have that right, The next part of the game is to get everything right on the back end, right? Your fulfillment system, right? Your customer support, your email marketing. You want to get all of that right. So it's a balancing game, right? You want to get all these things right, and then once you have, and it doesn't happen over time. It happens over like long periods of time, one by one. You can't be overwhelmed by these things. You want to start somewhere, and you want to then build on top of that, right? You want to start small. Rome wasn't not built in a day, and you want to start small and you want to build up. And the three most critical things to start with, as I mentioned: offer, timing, and the target audience, the creatives, right? So anyway, hope this was, oh yeah, by the way, we have the last fourth part, which is the profit breakdown. That's going to be super interesting. So for that, let's go to ordermetrics.com and let's check February, okay? So from the 1st till the 12th, as I said, we did 1,203 orders, and here you can see 1,203 orders. So it matches, okay? The revenue was 39,178. I think it includes the tips, right? So this number does not include tips, and this number includes tips. So you can see here that the cost of goods was 13,000. And let's go to the most fun part. So the net margin. The net margin is 3% with a profit of $1,060. You might be thinking, that is horrible. And I agree with you. But here's something very interesting. Let's go from the 1st till the 8th, okay? And I'm going to explain in a second something super interesting. So you can see that the revenue here is 24,000 and the net margin is 15%. With 3.5K, right? So in 7 days, in 7 days, I did $3,500 in profit, excluding all the expenses, all the transaction fees, everything, right? But from the 8th till the 12th, I did minus $2,000, minus 11%. And you might be thinking, what? How is that possible? Why did he do that? And this comes back to me not knowing that people were buying this as a gift for Valentine's Day. I didn't realize it. I realized it too late. And I was trying to scale. I saw my CTR drop and I was like, oh no, what's happening? Are my ads saturated? Are my ads dead or something? I was trying to launch new ads. I was trying to launch new audiences and it didn't work. And it all came down to timing. People were buying this right before Valentine's Day. And as soon as you might be thinking, okay, but before like the 8th, right? There's still some time until the 14th, right? There's like 6 days. Yes, but on my website, I had the time, the fulfillment time, 7-10 days. So literally the 7th was the last day they could get it right before Valentine's Day. And on the 8th, that's when things started to decline. So trust me, timing is super important. But you can see that from this 38,000, if we sum everything up, I did $1,000 in profit. However, if I would have stopped my advertising just 4 days earlier, I would have been with 3,500. So a matter of 4 days, $2,500 profits minus. But hopefully the next event, Mother's Day, I'm going to know better and I'm going to go in harder and I'm going to stop my ads at the right time and, exit with a hefty, nice profit. So I hope this video was helpful, valuable, interesting. If it was, make sure to give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I love talking about e-commerce, sharing my journey along the way. And on this note, thank you so much for watching this video. Till next time.